And hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, which is past time for the Jerry Hinkle program. One of the reasons why so many people hate Mondays is they tuned in to see his show and all they saw was the reruns. We're getting to be like the Big Bang Theory that way. But we are here now, so that's a wonderful thing about the internet. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and no one seems to care or even complain. I suppose if it, I don't know. Guess what? We're still being brought to you by Real Lemon Juice, in case I start cussing again, which, believe me, during the rehearsals, I cussed a whole lot. You can see the darn bottle's darn near half full. And Mountain Dew Throwback, it will tickle your innards, and this will tickle my innards, maybe even during the show. We never know, in case I get thirsty. Okay. It's been quite a week here in the big city. I have been working like a dog. That is, if a dog does any work. Last week, I'm part-time at the Walmart, but I worked 40 hours last week. I am working 48 hours this week. I worked until nearly 7:30 or so Monday morning, and yesterday being Monday, and I got home. I took my shoes off, laid down on the chair, got up around 4:30. Yes, I was just that tired, and so it's been kind of a, you know how it goes. Yes, but I'm here now. You're here now. So what else we got to talk about? Well, Happy Holidays would be the apt thing, because there was a whole lot of holidays here lately. On the 16th, it was Armed Forces Day, on top of being Saturday. The 17th, Sunday, was Norwegian New Year, 17. Mai. Don't ask me how to spell it, but if it's pronounced 17. Mai, at least I think it is. If it's not, would any of our Norwegian fans, or even Norwegian American fans, please correct me on the pronunciation if I am wrong, which I'm probably not. I being partly Norwegian American. See, my grandmother, Agnes Leona Haywick Gering Hahn, was born to full-blood Norwegians, which of course makes her for full-blood Norwegian. She married a German from Russia, which diluted my mother down to half, so I am a mere quarter Norwegian. That's 25% for those of you who didn't go to Wesleyan. So, and 75%, and 75% something else. German, Irish, and of course German from Russia too, a little. So I know a few things. I know how to say a few things in German. I know how to say a few things in Norwegian. I don't know that much about the Irish language, other than manly, yes, I like it too. And well, we're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that some other time when that's appropriate. Anyhow, so Norwegian New Year, and of course graduation day, which is one of the major things we're going to be talking about, because my niece Brittany done graduated high school. Yeah, you can tell by the way, fancy way I talk, that I graduated high school myself. And we'll talk about that later, but right now we're going to talk about Brittany, because not only did Brittany graduate from high school, which is, these days, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. If you go to high school, you're going to graduate, because that's just the way things operate these days. There were, with me, you never really knew for sure. And I don't know that much. Of course, my brother Dougie, he was on the honor roll, and he was perfect, and everybody loved him. We're not going to talk about Dougie, because we're going to talk about Brittany. We'll honor Brittany's father, my brother Daryl. I don't know too much about his. I did not see his report card in high school, so I don't know how well he did. I know how well I almost did, or how well I didn't do. So it is, but anyhow, we're going to forget about that because Brittany graduated. There was no doubt that she would graduate because she is just loaded with talent, which you can't give all the credit to the Haywicks, like my grandma Agnes would, but Brittany had a mother that excelled academically, so we got to give the Van Tassels and the Cudmores a little bit of credit there, at least half, probably more. I don't know. Well, we've had some, and Brittany is just loaded with academic, musical talent. She's a really great speaker, an actress, and I guess not too good as a politician. She made it to Girls State, ran for 7 different offices and lost them all. That only proves that people are stupid because, Brittany would have to kowtow to a lot of inferior people in order to get elected. And something like me, I can't do that. So I'm too honest. I'm like, I'm not very good at the old BS tricks. So that's Brittany for you. She is just loaded with talent, and she was a candidate for Miss South Dakota Miss Teen South Dakota, one of those pageants. She got to meet Sean Capel. I never got to meet Sean Capel when I was her age. I should have put on a dress, and that wouldn't have worked for me. So I might have met Dave Dedrick that way, but I wouldn't. No, we're not going. I met Dave Dedrick plenty of times. I didn't need to put on a dress, but then that's. I missed Brittany's graduation. I was not present. I saw pictures, but I wish I could have physically been there. I feel bad about that because work, stupid work kept me here, and so. But there is a bright side to that, because I worked I worked the day before, the day after Brittany's graduation, or I should say the night before and the night after. Because I worked those shifts, a young lady that I work with was able to graduate from high school, and she's a nice kid, no. She's no Brittany, but she is a nice kid. She made a few unfortunate choices, and she graduated a year late because and that, well, it worked out because she's got a job at Walmart. She is working with the most brilliant people at the Walmart, the frozen dairy and deli team, and I just happen to be on that team too, also. So, but I would have much rather been with my Brittany girl because to celebrate all that she has done, and she has done a whole lot of things. Other than there was the South Dakota Ambassadors of Music, or the Music Ambassadors of South Dakota. I'm not. She's done a lot. but I'm not exactly sure what it is. And the best part, at least in most people's eyes, is that she's not even done yet. I mean, she graduated from high school and all that, but she will be entering the 12th grade at the South Dakota School of Mines and Technologies, somewhere out west of here. And she's going to be doing some sort of summer school in the country of Costa Rica, out there in the Latin American states. So that'll be an interesting way to pass the time. And I'm very proud of Brittany, even though I had very little to do with how well she turned out. I'm just so glad, mostly because she has my last name, and you know, it's always good for something positive to be connected with the Hinkle name, and Brittany has been nothing but positive. You'll notice all she ever is says Brittany gets this on, or Brittany gets that on. You never see Brittany Hinkle gets locked up for drinking while intoxicating around, because she don't intoxicate around, at least not while she's driving rather. This is my friend. This Mountain Dew is the best thing for someone to drink, unless of course it's chocolate milk, which is my beverage of choice, which for some reason chocolate milk don't sponsor this show, but Mountain Dew does, so here we are. And I haven't cussed yet. And, well, of course, we're only 12 minutes into the program, so there's several times I was mad because I missed Brittany's graduation, but only mad at myself, and I only cussed myself because of that. But I tell you one thing, I'm right here. If you have got this far into the program, congratulations for one thing. Here, I'm going to make a public announcement, so there's no way I can back out of it later. But I am going to set up a $500 scholarship, and I'll check eventually and see if Walmart will match it. But if they don't, that's still only $500. But I will set up a $500 scholarship for Brittany and all of my other nieces and nephews, or at least the blood relatives. It's kind of too late for me to set something up for the kids that Doug inherited, but as far as Brittany, Shelby, and Justin, and Connor, and Cade, there's no reason why I can't race right now, because I am making all kinds, and we'll see how things progress. But it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Brittany's going into the 13th grade, so I will set up a $500 scholarship for her at the appropriate time, which shouldn't be too awful long, I would think, because we just got the summer. She's going off to Costa Rica, and she's coming back, and then I don't know what the situation. Hopefully she'll have a place to live while she's going to the School of Mines. I don't know if they have a dormitory, or if they have a low rent district full of substandard housing for students, or what. But that much I can, because well, you know, I work 40 hours, and worked 48 hours last week, 48 hours this week, 40 hours next week. If I make it through that, if I make it out alive, it will be a miracle. But if I do make it out alive, I'll have no problem setting up a scholarship for Brittany, because and maybe I'll have to set up a life insurance policy in case do it. Well, I don't know. We'll figure something out. All right. Anyhow, that is that that's that for Brittany. We'll talk some more about Brittany later on. Oh, and as far as the holidays go, yesterday was my Aunt Joyce's 50th birthday. Now, well, I'm 112 and she's older than that. Let's figure it out. No, actually, I'm not 112 now that I remember, but I just look 112. But it was my Aunt Joyce's birthday. It was cousin Esther Wilbur was. She's still alive, and who knows? But cousin Esther Wilbur from Saginaw, Michigan, and moved to Texas later on. She was born 102 years ago on May 18th. So if she's still alive, she's 102. If she's dead, she isn't. So either way, I hope with modern communications as it is, hopefully someone will let me know either way, because Esther Wilbur was a fine lady, and she probably still is if she's alive. And also 29 years ago, yesterday, I graduated high school. Miracles. It was not easy. Oh boy, if my mother got on YouTube, she'd be talking, for she could talk for an hour or two about what a struggle it was getting me graduated, because I was always willing to give up and just be nothing and nobody and all that jazz. It was just too hard, and then they expect me to go to school on top of that. Well, it took me and then of course I hated school passionately, and this is my college experience. After that wasn't all that great. It wasn't until I went to Wesleyan, in 2007, and that was a pretty good experience. I don't know. If I had gone to Wesleyan in 1986, if that had been any better or any worse, I don't know. But you can't go back in the past. You can't relive the past. You have to deal with the here and now. So I'm just glad that. Now I'm pretty sure Brittany will do well, because she's done well so far. There's no reason to think that won't continue, because she is an exceptional young lady, and I'm very proud of her, even though I had precious little to do with that. If I did have something to do with that, I'm sure glad of that. We used to have all kinds of fun back when she was a young girl. I still remember that time that she did this computer game called Kindergarten, Here I Come, and there was this is the tickety tock. I say tickety tock, look for the mouse between 5 and 7 o'clock. And of course, we know what numbers are between 5 and 7. But if you're just entering kindergarten, you got to guess. And Brittany usually guessed correct on it. She found a mouse that went tickety tock and hickory dickory dock and all that jazz. And and that helped her. Now at the graduation, they actually let her have a speaking part. She gave the closing remarks, whatever that means. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But whatever she said, I'll bet it was memorable. But of course, I don't know what she said because I wasn't there. Hopefully, if you were there, you know what she said. And I hope whatever she said, you remember, because when she talks, y'all should listen. She's kind of like a granddad that way. So we got we got 20 minutes here, and I think we're at the 20-minute mark. I think it is time for a little, we're coming down to the end of May here, and we haven't talked too much about the Cancer Fight Club. And so I'm going to, I did enough singing about Brittany, so now we're going to dedicate this little tune to Cancer. Hey there, little man, get out of my frying pan. I got bigger fish to fry than you. Bigger fish to fry than you. So get down off that horse before I knock you off. Get out of here, son. Let me show you the door. You better get gone by the time I count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang! It's time for you to see. I choose my battles carefully, so don't. You're acting out of fear, but I'm not afraid of you. So on the way out, watch your rear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang! Yeah, be careful. Now I got a hold of my computer. Don't know my finger don't know its own strength. Yeah, so that's our little love song to Cancer. And so I guess we've run out of things to talk about. We talked about Brittany for most of that time, but it was time well spent because she is wonderful. Y'all know by now she's wonderful. So I guess there isn't too much else to talk about except I'm sorry that I wasn't with you on Monday, but I'm with you now, and now it's time to say goodbye, I guess. So until next time, God be with you. Do the best you can. And, hey, get out of my bathroom. You're disturbing my privacy.